Captains, we're happy to see you on the official World of Warships channel again.
We've prepared a new episode of Ricochet, the most spectacular naval show with cool experiments and tests.
In this show, we find out which of two ships is stronger, which one has better shells, and the sturdiest citadel.
No.
What do you mean, no?
We won't have citadels today.
Oh, you're right. There won't be any.
These are the sound settings when you play a destroyer. These are the sound settings when you play a cruiser. When you play an aircraft carrier. A battleship. These are the sound settings when you play Shikishima. Shikishima is the gold standard of how battleships should sound.
Captains, there won't be any Citadel hits in today's episode.
This is because today's heroes don't have them.
Today's Ricochet features 2 Tier 10 destroyers.
The first ship reloads her guns in 3 seconds. The total HE shell damage from all guns is 12,000, AP shells 17,000.
She is a real machine gun, an artillery samurai from the land of the rising sun, the unrivaled Haruguma.
The opponent of the Japanese ship is a destroyer with a reload time of 3.5 seconds, and her total HE shell damage from all guns is 14,800.
Or almost 20,000 with AP shells. Another French ship in our Ricochet show, the fantastic Marceau.
Both destroyers have decent HP pools. Harugumo, 25,600.
Marceau, 21,900.
Well, then it's 1-0 in favor of Harugumo.
Fine. And if we compare their maximum cruising speeds, the score will be 1-1.
Hey, I was joking. Our show will determine which ship is the best. Marceau versus Harugumo. Harugumo versus Marceau. The 3rd episode of Ricochet is underway.
Even though neither of our participants have citadels or armor, they're still required to fire at each other. In this test, we won't be using experimental shells and will immediately proceed to firing full salvos. We'll start with the HE shells.
And then we'll fire AP shells. The ships are 5 kilometers apart.
The winner is the ship that destroys her opponent faster. And no upgrades, skills, or signals are allowed.
Everything's ready for the combat salvo. Harugumo starts first. HE shells are loaded. Let's go.
The Japanese ship needed 39 seconds to sink Marceau.
Now it's time for AP shells.
Marceau is scrapped after 30 seconds.
We'll record the total time of the Japanese destroyer as 69 seconds.
Now it's Marceau's turn.
The French ship knows how to work with HE shells. 32 seconds.
Load up the AP shells.
"58 seconds. Well, not very impressive.
The result is that 90 seconds were required to destroy 2 Harugumas with different shell types. It means that the Japanese destroyer wins the first experiment of our show.
The score is 1-0 in favor of Harugumo. It's time to give Marceau a chance to redeem herself.
Are you ready to stand at the helm of the best warship of the game, Mikasa? If you order this magnificent battleship within an hour, As a gift, we'll plant another palm tree on the deck of your Atlanta. Call us right now. Remember, the number of Mikasas is limited.
The second experiment also involves testing the main guns of our destroyers.
Which ship will score a Citadel hit on a battleship?
I'm afraid we'll have to wait a very long time for that. No, the ship that causes 4 fire instances on a battleship's deck will win our second trial. The destroyers will fire at various spots of the battleship. As soon as fire starts on some part of the battleship, our participant will start firing at another spot.
Where are these spots? Tell us more about them.
The bow end. 2 spots on a central part, and the rear.
Do I understand correctly that when some part of a ship is on fire, you can't extend its duration by firing at the same spot again?
Yeah, that's right. All you can do is set another spot of the ship on fire.
Now it's clear to me. So what? What ship will serve as the target?
Kremlin will be the target. She has a very large HP pool.
Hey, oh. Why didn't you choose Fuso? Fine, let's see which ship is the fastest fire starter in World of Warships.
Marceau will go first.
The result is 1 minute and 13 seconds.
That's impressive. Now, it's Haruguma's turn.
One minute and 23 seconds. That was close.
It was close, but not enough.
Not enough to win this experiment. The score is even in Ricochet, 1-1.
In order to save Fuso, you don't need to sacrifice yourself. It's enough just to head into battle at the helm of this battleship. This video has been created with the support of the Fuso Protectors Association.
Even though we didn't show it in detail, we still managed to demonstrate what the main guns of these 2 destroyers are capable of. In our next experiment, we'll learn the true power of auxiliary armament, torpedoes to be more precise.
In our next trial, the winning ship will be the one that uses fewer torpedoes to sink.
Another battleship, Gremlin. She's an excellent choice for this experiment due to her large HP pool and decent torpedo protection.
Fine, fine. Let's use a Soviet ship as a target again.
Another important thing, Haruguma has 1 torpedo launcher, while Marceau is equipped with 4, 2 launchers on each side. That's why the destroyers will remain stationary for the purity of the experiment.
Let's make it clear once more. Marceau will launch torpedoes from just one side, and Harugumo will utilize torpedo reload booster.
Exactly. Is the audience ready? Are the destroyers ready?
Let's start.
Marceau was the first. The French ship needed 9 torpedoes to sink Kremlin.
It took only 7 torpedoes for Harugumo to do the job.
We can congratulate the Japanese ship for her victory in this trial. However, we need to note that reload torpedo booster allowed the ship to send 12 torpedoes toward Kremlin almost instantly, while Marceau had to wait for her launchers to reload.
On the other hand, when the French ship was waiting for her launchers to reload, Kremlin was suffering from flooding damage.
Let the score be 2-1. But in a real battle, Marceau would attack from both of her sides and could sink the battleship immediately.
Time moves so slowly. Hundreds of seconds. A never-ending wait. And everyone asks the same question. When will they finally reload? Torpedo launchers. They're so dangerous, but they need so much time. But you don't have to wait anymore. The Torpedo Reload Booster consumable is a brand new solution for reducing your reload time. Torpedo Reload Booster makes reloading your launchers almost instantaneous. Torpedo Reload Booster is the perfect choice for those who don't like to wait. This consumable is available for Destroyer Monahan, Pan-Asian cruisers, and some Japanese destroyers, 12+. Torpedoes have been launched, guns have been fired. Now it's time to test the durability of our destroyers.
Totally agree with you on that, colleague.
Now we'll find out how long our destroyers will last under fire from the secondary guns of 2 Grosser Kehrfursts.
2 German ships will be positioned 5 kilometers away from both sides of the destroyers. Naturally, we'll enhance the secondary battery of the battleships to the maximum.
I suggest we start with Marceau.
The German secondary batteries needed 52 seconds to sink the French ship.
Ha! Something tells me that Harugumo will go down to feed the fishes much faster.
Colleague, I'm impressed by your insight. The Japanese destroyer endured just 34 seconds under the hail of German shells.
It wasn't an insight, I just guessed it.
By the way, I have an interesting fact about French destroyers. When the hulls of these ships are destroyed, or they have no more HP left in the same way as can happen to the ship ends, then the damage that the destroyers receive is reduced by half. That's why French ships can survive even the toughest fights.
That's another thing I like about our Rico Chet show. You can watch some incredible experiments at the same time as learning loads of new and useful things.
We have a draw again. 2-2. The final trial is ahead. I'm Dominic Cliberetto, and I'm here to tell you what speed is. The most important aspect of speed is the captain who controls the ship. But a good driver isn't enough. Everyone needs engine boost. French engine boost. I'm Dominique Cliberetto, and I am inviting you into the family, captains, the family of French warships. Together, we'll show everyone who the fastest and most furious is here.
Secondary battlers are fun, but what about a powerful and precise HE salvo?
Then let it be a British battleship that fires such a salvo.
Conqueror. She surely can make you sad with her HE shells.
That's wonderful. Let's see which of our participants survives a salvo from that battleship.
Let's make it this way. The ship that receives less damage wins this trial and our show.
Let it be your way, colleague. Conqueror is in position. She fires a salvo from 12 guns as she might in a standard battle. The range to the destroyers remains the same, 5 kilometers.
Firing a salvo at Harugumo.
Almost 13,000 damage.
Now it's Marceau's turn.
Slightly more than 14,000 damage.
It means that the winner of the 3rd episode of the coolest show about warships is Harugumo. Our congratulations to Harugumo. She was the best today.
The best in today's episode. Though, to tell the truth, all ships in our game are the best in their own specific ways.
The most important thing of World of Warships is how skilled captains are in using the advantages of their destroyers wisely, and not expose the weak points of their ships to Conqueror's HE shells.
Ha! That's true!
This was the 3rd episode of the Rico Chet Show. Tell us in the comments what 2 ships you would like to see face off against each other in our next episode.
Remember to hit the like button under the video and subscribe to our channel. See you soon, captains!